So here we have the familiar logo. I hope it's becoming more familiar now. Tameside Striders, the Badger. And welcome to Tame Striders TV. This is the second half of the second of 3 games that we staged at Platt Lane on Friday the 6th of December. Committee man Colin Fielding came up with the names for the teams, I think, and David Partington. In the blue we have Olmen Pathetic, and in the red CF Farcelona. I'll be making minimal interjections here. We'll let the action speak for itself. All the audio has been muted. Referee in this game is Mr. Tony Cravagan of Marple. Bits of running going on. Mostly off the ball, as is the case in most walking football games, it has to be said. I think of the two evils in walking football, running and contact. We've managed to eradicate a lot of the contact, and that's the greater of the two evils. This is a 7v7 game. Unfortunately, one of the players got lost on his way to the facility at Platt Lane, and 2 or 3 had to call off their attendance. They let us know in advance, which is fair enough. So the Farcelona squad was light. Stephen Wingrove with a shimmy. And Rob Blake with a characteristic step over. Oh, good save by Mike Kieran. Comes Keith Oldham. Bit of an extravagant back heel there from Jim Stewart into touch. David Partington in the pathetic goal. Goalposts were about a foot or maybe 18 inches taller than we usually use. At the end of the first half of this game, a goal was disallowed for being overhead height when it entered the net, which was a brave decision by the referee, Mr. Cravagan, but an entirely correct one, I think. Is this a free kick to blue? Referee just maintaining his notes. You'll note that a lot of the players are not wearing shin pads, and I've only just noticed that. And because it's just an internal session that's decamped elsewhere, we don't insist on shin pads in our internal sessions. Some would say we should. There's no great demand for it amongst our players. The contact levels are very minimal, but it's just struck me that several players with the stockings rolled down by their ankles is perhaps a little bit risky. But everybody's old enough to make their own mind up, you know. I played in a couple of games. I wore socks that were up to my knees, but I didn't wear shin pads. I don't think anybody wore shin pads on the day, to be honest. Maybe that's something we should look at as a committee. It's like a corner for the pathetics. And that's a foul. Tackle from behind, even though he made clean contact with the ball. I think that's still a foul. You can't do that. Like Kieran gathers. There's Keith Oldham again. Can the camera catch up with him? Filming from the halfway line in this game. Peter Dixon. Oh, I know, another good save by Kieran, diving low to his right. Very agile man for his years. Septuagenarian. He'd no longer qualify for England under 73s. Good tackle by Peter Quinn. And Wingrove lashes one well wide. Is that an infringement? Peter Quinn asking for something there. We're about just under halfway through this second half now. The film does cut off before the end. Mr. Cravagan just explaining what he wants. It's a free kick to the Blues. And that's played in and pushed wide by Kieran. Having a good game, Mike. Man who 2 days later was refereeing a ladies' game at Bowerfold, Staley Bridge. So he's very versatile, fully involved with the game at all kinds of levels. Palms that one away, gets it back. Free kick to the Reds, taken by skipper-manager Colin Fielding. David Gibbons there in the white trainers, borrowed trainers actually. He forgot his on the day. Managed to borrow some from Roy Smith, so well done, Roy. Good job they fitted. David Gibbons, former professional of course, played in his youth with Manchester City, made reserve team level, and I think even now as he's much older it shows in his play. Cool head, distributes the ball very, very well. Martin Heath on the right plays it into and Oldham scores. Does he? I'll let you make your own mind up on that one. That's tricky because where Dave Partington is holding his hand, all of the ball would needed to be over that height. And to be honest, looking back, having several looks, I think he may have a point, but it might have entered the net before it reached that height. Hard to see. So, I think that's 2-1. Oh, and that's a nasty one for Jimmy Stewart. I think he's alright. Pete Dixon rushes forward there. Wingrove. Oh, and he catches Mike Kieran unawares there. And an immediate equaliser. Steve looks a bit fired up there. I think with that goal of the Reds, was it overhead height when it passed the goalkeeper? It looked to be slightly overhead height as it entered the goal. But it's hard to say. The referee only sees it once. Fully vindicate his support his decision there. Anyway, 2-2. Gibbons lifts the ball high. Retrieved by Partington. That's going to be a free kick to the Blues. Olmen pathetic in this 7v7. Steve Wingrove with the kick, is it? Or will he leave it to Rob Lake? The camera will catch up, no doubt. And another good save by Kieran. Oh, it's gone outside and Heath's there. He pounces and Heath scores what could well be a winning goal there. I think that's 3-2 to the Old Men Pathetic. Martin Heath there with the winning goal. Well, Kieran couldn't just stop the ball going out of his D, and there was Heath. No defenders anywhere around. There was Heath to pounce. Can the Blues come back? Can the Reds come back? Still one game to go after this one. That would be Farcelona against Les Miserables. And there's the ball going out of play. And I think the footage is just about to run out now. So we'll close this little commentary. Some may say it's better than the music we put on, and some may say it's not. Some might prefer total silence, but we can't please everybody. There we are. Oh, and then we've got another bonus replay here. I don't know where that came from. Anyway, we'll close this down now. Thank you for watching.